This is the human side of the story, and we just mentioned a few minutes ago about the boost that the Colorado Avalanche have received with Gabriel Landeskog back in the lineup after not having played a game in the NHL for 34 months, and what that means to this club having their captain back after all this time.
And what it means to the fans, too, because the last time they saw Gabriel Landeskog on the ice was hoisting the Stanley Cup in 2022. And I think everybody's excited that he's back and playing again after everything that he's been through.
His story is remarkable, and his initial injury to his right knee took place in the bubble in 2020 when teammate Cale Makar fell and his skate came up and clipped Landeskog right over that right knee. And if you actually see the video, you can actually see the cut in his stocking on his right leg. And he limped off the ice, had a small procedure to address that issue, but did feel pain during the course of the 2021-22 season. He had another cleanup procedure in March of 22, and that was basically smoothing cartilage behind the patella, but he did return for the playoffs, felt pain in the first round that year, but still managed to hoist the Stanley Cup. And, that's the last we saw of him for 3 years. Who knew at that time?
No, I mean, you kept asking, where is he? When is he coming back? What's his status? And it was just so peculiar that he was out so long. And you don't see this happen except with incredible athletes.
In the fall of that year, he had the same procedure as the one that he had had in March, but still was not seeing the necessary improvement, still was uncomfortable. And then in May of 2023, almost 2 years ago, decided to have this unique procedure where he would have a cartilage transplant. And this had never been done on an NHL player before, but he thought this was really the last opportunity that he had to be able to get back to playing.
Yeah, and obviously it worked. And, it doesn't it remind you a little bit of Jack Eichel and the stuff that he went through in Buffalo? Now, that was a lot shorter window. I'm not comparing the window, but Eichel wanted to have this procedure done. The Sabres didn't want it done, and it ended up leading to his trade to Vegas.
Yeah, on his neck. And so there are obviously players that are willing to have these unique surgeries that have not been performed on other athletes before, or those that have been able to come back. They're willing to take that risk.
Right. But see, where the club runs into this is that the club is on the hook for the contract, right? So when Jack Eichel says, I want to have this thing that's never been done on an NHL player, the club's going, wait. We owe you X millions of dollars. If this thing doesn't work, we still got to pay you the money and we don't get the thing. So we're going to say, no, we don't want you to have that. It's all about the contract. And obviously with Colorado and Gabriel Landeskog, they were in it together because we didn't hear of any dispute about what he was having done.
Landeskog wanted to have his journey documented, and TNT and True TV on CleanSheet has indeed had this journey of Landeskog coming back to play. A lot of the things that we don't see behind the scenes, the ups and downs, the toll that it takes on the family. And he admitted that his wife had to keep him in line a few times because if things aren't going well, you tend to withdraw. Maybe you're not as great around your kids as you should be, all in trying to make this comeback.
He said something in an interview the other night that I heard that I thought was spot on. I haven't heard it described like this, but he said it was really hard to go back to family life and then go back to the robotic hockey life. And by robotic, I know exactly what he means. It's you do the same thing every day, every day, every day. You have your routine. You do it every day. You're with your teammates. They're all doing the same routine, and you're all doing it together like robots. And I thought that was a great term, because life is not robotic when you're not playing anymore. You go back to normal life, which is really, really hard for people who have been in a robotic atmosphere like the professional team athletes.
Finally, he manages to get back into that robotic life of being a hockey player. 2-game conditioning stint with the Colorado Eagles. He comes back for game 3. I think perhaps the Avalanche were almost a little bit overamped at the beginning, weren't able to win the 3rd game. But boy, in game 4, in the 2-point effort that he had, and taking that drop pass from Brock Nelson and wiring that shot past Jake Ottinger, and just watching how he was skating. He was so free-flowing, and you could not think that this was a guy that went under an incredible journey to get back to playing in the NHL. He just looked fabulous.
Yeah, and again, it harkens back to Mario Lemieux, him coming back and missing a whole year, and then being the best player in the league again as soon as he comes back. It was something that, it's wonderful to see it, isn't it? It's such a good feeling that you get about another human being, and that the trials and tribulations of life.
And what was better than seeing his kids at the glass with a big sign saying, "Daddy, we're so proud of you," before his comeback in game 3. And the Masterton Trophy for dedication and perseverance is awarded every year. It's in memory of Bob Masterton, the only player to have ever died as a result of injuries suffered in an NHL game. He was playing for the North Stars against the Seals in January of 1968. Every NHL club has a nominee. But when you look at this story, you look at the work that this man has put in to get back to his career. And let's face it, he's 32. We don't know how he's going to respond after this rush of adrenaline, after this playoff ends, what the future holds. But to get to this point, there is no better definition for that trophy than Gabriel Landeskog.
You're right on. There couldn't be a better nominee than Gabriel Landeskog because of the things that he's been through and just the devotion he had to put into his craft to get himself back. So let's hope that everybody recognizes it the way we do and that he does win the Masterton Trophy.
Thanks for joining us on the NHL Wraparound podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all the NHL action.